Hello and welcome to hobby vlog number 144. This week's been a good week. I expected it to be a terrible week at the beginning, but I've managed to crack on and do quite a lot. Some things not on camera, Battle Games and Middle Earth videos ongoing, two at the same time at the moment, which is interesting. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun, and mostly I've had a lot of fun because having started getting Rosie a little bit involved in doing some terrain builds, this week we really lent into it, and I've tried to do a little bit with her every day, and she is loving it. So that puts a huge smile on my face, obviously. There's a fair amount else going on, so please do watch and enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I love reading all your comments, so don't be shy. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you again at the end. Right, so I'm just running through the self-test and setup, and thought actually, you know, I'll put the camera on for a little bit because, well, I thought it might be interesting. And I've come to a point where it says, place a paper underneath the nozzle. If it catches, power off immediately, which sounds a bit exciting. So I've put some paper in, and we're going to see what happens. So yeah, let's see. Very exciting. Right, I'll report back when it's done this. Oh, exciting stuff. It says it might take about 12 minutes is what the thing said. So let's see if I've done this right or wrong. I'll report back shortly. Well, isn't that nice? So a couple of little things. One thing that caught me out a little bit, where the paper is, of course, A4 isn't quite large enough. It doesn't fit the full width of the print plate. So I had to pay quite a bit of attention, and when it scooted from one side to another, I had to shift the paper over and then back and what have you, just to make sure the A4 stayed. Then it said, please put the steel plate on, which I did. And it did some funky dancing, and now I've got that lovely message. So yeah, I'm going to carry on, but that message made me smile so much. I just wanted to do a quick film and also make notes of the things that I remembered to talk about, like, as I say, this paper, just so you don't step away during that process. Basically, you're going to need to interact with the printer, make sure that the paper doesn't get caught, and make sure that it's always in position, because yeah, A4 doesn't fit unless you cut a sheet that's exactly the right size, then I suppose, but even then you'd probably want to be involved just to make sure it doesn't get stuck. Anyway, onwards. Well, just after that it told me to it told me to do the what's it. It's asked me if it's extruding into the correct colour, so I've put some filament in. It looks like it, yes. Now I'll calibrate distance between the tip of the nozzle and heated bed surface. So I presume I want to take this off. I'm going to anyway. Rotate, okay, the printer will start printing in a zigzag line. Rotate the printer to reach the optimal height. Check the pictures in the handbook. Right, so I'll probably stop filming to do this because I need to kind of look into this. But it's preheated the bed, it's preheated the nozzle, I've fed the PLA. The printer will start printing a zigzag line. Rotate until you reach the optimal height. Right, I'm going to have a look into this, read the manual, and I'll come back and let you know what I find out when I get to it. But this is very, very exciting. Right, so I've got some pictures to look at, and now we're going to see what happens. Let's see. First ever print. This is incredible. Right, so that is definitely too high. Yes, I do. Right, so I'm going to get off, stop filming because this is going to take a little bit of time. That's pretty very boring. I'm going to get this all set up and then I'll come back when I've done it. Alright, now I'm happy enough. It's quite a simple paint job, but I'm happy enough with it. It looks a lot brighter and more interesting in real life. You can hear Rosie having fun in the pool with Angela in the background maybe. Yeah, so the next step is going to be to put these little bits of wood that I've stained up. And there, got a little bit of PVA glue on a plate. And all I'll do is come along and set them in. Now they won't be all that hardy, so I might push it in just a little bit into the foam like that, just to kind of get a little bit more security. But we're just going to push them in about once an inch or so, and that will give a nice little detail. And when that's dry, all I'll be left to do is a little bit of a access onto that top bit. I am also considering putting the matte varnish onto the white thing, but I'm not sure. If I do, obviously it'll be videoed, so you'll see. But yes, I can get these done. I'm going to put them on both sides, and that I think will pretty much, as I say, finish this building off. Quite happy with how this is looking. I think it looks great. It's a nice, interesting build, different from anything I've done before, and it's always nice to try new things, and it's also always nice not to bin stuff, to recycle things. I really do like that. So yeah, that's one side done. I'll do the other side off camera. Crack on. So initially I bought 3 sheets of this thick blue foam, thinking that that would probably be enough. I was thinking that I might do about 2/3 as the base, which means I can get 6 layers out of it. Basically I'll do 3 of 2/3, and then it would slope up, and then the top ones would be 3 of 1/3. Not sure if that's still going to be the case. I'm looking at it, wondering if I want to make it bigger. I'm also wondering if I'm just kind of going over the top there, but I'm really inspired by this build, so I really want to do something pretty special. So I've not yet cut anything. I've done a few sketches, I've done a bit of thinking, and I'm going to get some more of this material before I do any cutting. I was supposed to get some today, but I fell asleep. I'm not feeling all that great, and so I've not had the time to get out. So I'll try and get out sometime this week and pick some more up. And then what I can do, if you'll forgive the noise, I will stop talking and cut this bit. There we are. So that's piled them up. So then what I can do is I can really start to look at it and work out how the shape is. Because what I'm actually thinking is I could do it so they butt up, so it's a split in half, so the hill would almost be like this on the base, and then the bottom would be another sheet, and they would be able to butt together, which would make it a bigger build, but also a little bit more interesting, because when you split them apart, then you'll be able to see into the sides, and I could do something cool with that. One of the other ideas I've had is that maybe I would like to have some kind of big open gallery cave with balconies going around it. You can see I'm starting to think really crazily. I'm thinking about a waterfall with an entrance. I'm thinking about quite a steep cliff on one side of the hill, which you would be able to get up via rock climbing, and I would put little divots in so the bases could fit for 28mm figures. I think it could have all sorts of gaming implications, not just in terms of making a cool table, but it could be literally a board in itself. So as each layer can be lifted out, you could have different layers on different tables and be able to play between the two. So not just have it as a monolithic on the table, but actually have it as almost like a dungeon crawl. Anyway, lots of natter on this, lots of thinking of this project. I am going to wait to get some more materials, and then I will start cutting, and I'll bring you along when I get to that. Right, it's time for me to build these Blotz buildings. I've got 3 buildings here. I've got the 28mm Middle Eastern 1, the 28mm Middle Eastern 9, and the 28mm Middle Eastern 8. And basically what that is a slightly multi-story building, and one that's kind of almost the same but reversed. And then this one is a compound. So I'm going to go for, first of all, 28mm but at least of building 1. And my instinct is that these are going to be relatively easy to build based on previous Blotz experience. I didn't build a big thing, but they were pretty good, those scatter pieces. There are no assembly instructions in the build, so you have to go online to get those. But honestly, don't think it's going to be all that hard. As you can see, you can kind of guess where things go. So what I'm going to do is get that built. So I will get myself my instructions, and actually goes that side, I think. I'll get myself my instructions and get some PVA and start building this. As per usual, most of the time on this video or any video I do will be about detailing or any issues I encounter. So I'm not going to sit here and build it on entirely on camera because, well, follow the instructions and use good PVA and be careful and be cautious. And if you're worried about 90 degrees, get yourself some of these little kind of like things which can really help you to, you can see that you can put that there, get a little clamp, or one of these clamps probably better, and that is going to basically hold that square. So you can see those little tips are very, very good tips for building these things. So yeah, I'll get this one assembled. I might get all of them assembled and then I'll come and do each of the detailing on camera. I'm quite excited about these, had them for a while, they've been staring at me, just decided, you know what, let's get them built. Well, that was really, really easy. Built all of these yesterday in the brief time that I had, went together very, very well. Couple of things I'll say. For these two simple ones, it suggests that you assemble the walls and then stick them to the base. I found it a lot easier to put them on the base as I was assembling, but for this one that's different. It is good to follow the instructions because it's actually, the base is actually in 2 parts, and you'll find it a lot easier if you do follow the instructions, but you probably get a better result by putting the wall straight into the base for the 2 smaller buildings if you're making these. So what I'm up to now is I've not quite finished the assembly stages of the 3rd big building, because I'm just looking at doing the doors. As you can see, I've not glued it together, but it's got lovely opening doors. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to paint the doors, and there's a whole load more doors for the building, as you can see here. And I actually made a slight mistake and glued the door in on the first one I did without thinking, so I might try and remove that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the doors with my Winsor & Newton raw umber, which I really like for wood. Like this, and then you can always dry brush it, so I'm going to paint them with that. And I'm also going to paint all of the little hatches, because there's loads of those hatches that go on. Now they say to glue the hatches down. I'm going to try that on one. My concern is that the way of getting these roofs off is easiest if you don't have the hatch in. So I might just have it so the hatch can be dropped in place. I might mask around, do the texturing and have a gap so I can drop the hatch in place, but I can also remove it to allow access to the inside of the buildings. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Once I've finished painting and I get on to the actual texturing and the rest of the finishing, then I will obviously bring you back along, as you know. But I thought I'd just do a quick update on where I got to and the thoughts I'm having. I might also do the painting of all of these protruding bits now with the same paint, because I'll then texture the walls, and it's better if I've painted those before I texture, because then the paint won't get onto the texture and look odd. And I'm very excited about this because this is obviously a vine thing, and I'm going to make some awesome vines to go on there. I'm really looking forward to detailing these. They're lovely little kits. Actually really impressed. So if you're looking for MDF Blotz, I was impressed before, I'm really impressed now. They're really good company. They're just a small British company, so yeah, give me a trade. I get nothing from them. I bought these, but yeah, very impressed with how well these have gone together. So yeah, let's get the paintbrush out, start painting these up, and then I'll get to the detailing and I'll bring you back then. I have my little helper with me again. Looking forward to this. Right, so these are the last 3. Do you remember I used to have these on the floor and I kept tripping over them? These are the last 3, all the rest have been made. And this is what we're going to end up doing. We're going to make something like this. So I need your opinion, Rosie. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer it like this? Or do you like it like that?
I like it like this.
Okay, so that's fine. So we're going to do that. So the first thing we're going to do then, and you can help me with this, is we're going to glue it in place. So if you can just hold that, like that, and what I'll put it on the table up here, and hold it like that. Hold it still so it doesn't move. Good girl. We're going to put this glue all the way across here. Okay.
Like a D for Daddy.
Like a D for Daddy, yes. And then what we're going to do, if you turn this round like this, hold this, can you press that down? Press hard. There we are, that's it, perfect. And that is now glued in place. I will smooth it off. I won't ask you to do that because Mummy will shout at us if we get you all filthy. So I will do the fingering with the glue. There we are. And what we're going to do, we're going to leave that to dry. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to get my knife, which I won't let you do. I'm very sorry, love. You are too little. So just let me do this bit. No, this is very, very sharp. You are too little for this, darling. You're very awesome, but you are too little. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cut that a little bit at an angle. And we're going to do the same thing. So cut that at an angle. See how sharp that knife is? Yeah, you want to be very careful. You don't want to hurt yourself on that. And I cut it wrong, as always. So we'll just shave that again. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some more glue on this, and we will save these and use these somewhere else in the build. So that, you see, can go there. So again, if you can hold this upright, so just hold, don't put it on the top, hold it on the sides. Just hold it there, that's it, perfect. We'll get some glue on the top. Look at all that glue. There we are, we'll do it like a wiggly worm this time, shall we? There we are. And if you can put your finger just under the side there and hold it, and I'll press it in. And there we are. I'll press that in nice and tight. And there we have it. So that, we're going to leave that like that for now because we need that glue to dry. And then next time you help me, what we'll do is we'll paint it. How about that? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. Thank you for your help, love.
I like it white.
You want it white? Okay, well we will paint it white then.
I like it orange or purple.
Orange or purple, okay.
I like all of colours.
I know, well we can pick the colour you want and we'll do it together, okay?
All the colours.
I know you do. Thank you very much for your help, love. Right, so just another little thing. I've been looking at the offcuts and I've realised that could really usefully go in there. So, yeah, just going to quickly glue that in. Rosie is currently gathering more bits and pieces for us to use in this recycle build. And she's just passing them to me. She's found these, which are my Blotz blanks. So we will try to make use of those in this build. But anyway, there we are. So I'm going to stick that little ramp in there. I think that's going to work quite nicely. I'm considering going with modelling compound on this. This is very thin, so I'm thinking of modelling compound a bit as well. So yes, but anyway, Rosie will be involved in all stages of this project. That's my plan anyway. So this is dried nicely. I'm not going to do too much without Rosie here because I really would like her to be involved in all of this, but this bit is actually going to be me carving away with a knife, so she wouldn't really be able to be involved with that anyway. So it's very flippy floppy, so I need to secure it a little bit. So what I've got done is I've gone and found this blue foam here, which is very cool for offcut, so it fits in with the theme. And all I'm going to do is smooth the edge with the knife so that it has a ramp up to it. Yeah, what I might do is put a few divots in it so it's not quite so flat. But I am seriously thinking about putting and having fun with Rosie tomorrow with the modelling compound. So I may not do that. So yeah, what I'm going to do is just come along with the knife and cut a slope into it like this. Now unfortunately these will be waste because there really isn't anything I can think of off the top of my head to use them for, and also I do have so much of this often that I don't really need to save it. I do this technique a lot. So anyway, a little bit of a nasty sound and a little bit kind of samey, so I'll just get that done, and then tomorrow with Rosie we'll glue it in place And then when we've glued it in place, we'll start probably with modelling compound pretty much straight away, because this is very grabby, this glue, so that's fine. So I can do that all tomorrow. It's school holidays here anyway, so we'll have plenty of chance tomorrow to get this done. So yeah, I'll do that carving, bring you back for the next step shortly. So what we're going to do, this is now dried really nicely, what we're going to do is we're going to stick this to that. And the reason is, if you look at how floppy that is, that's not very secure, is it? It's going to break. So what we're going to do, and you can help me with this, I'm going to get the same glue, and if you help me, I'll press and you guide it. We need to squish it all over the bottom of this. So I'll press and you guide it around like this. Very good, Rosie. A little bit more.
Tractor.
There you are. We'll make a tractor at some other time. Don't you worry about it, love. Should we write an X there? Oh, there we are. And then, shall I do this one? This is a bit difficult because you've got to kind of like scrape it off, otherwise it doesn't work. Right, there we are. So we'll put that down, and what we'll do now is turn it over, position it carefully, and when it's positioned,
Can I touch?
you can press it down. So you can press it down here, press it down. There we are. Good girl. Make
Can I
it.
touch it?
You certainly can, love. Don't touch the white stuff because it's sticky still, but you can touch it. That's now set. There we are. I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, so we'll let that go off, and then later on you can help me with some modelling compound. How about that? I'll put the lid on. That's very good advice. Don't forget the lid when you're working with glue. Very well done, Rosie. So I'll put the lid on there, and later on today, Roo, we'll put some modelling compound on it, okay?
Yay!
Yay! Thank you for your help again. Well, that took a little bit longer than I expected. There were a lot of these little kind of nubs. But I got them all painted up, and also got all the doors painted up. So the next thing I think I'm going to do is focus on these two smaller buildings, because they require less effort, and they'll be quicker, and I can work out my techniques. I've not yet done the opening shutting door there, because I want to think about that a little bit more as well, how I'm going to do that in terms of the actual finish. But yeah, really liking these buildings. Really recommend Blotz. No, I said it in the last clip. I want to say it again in this one. They've gone together so nicely. They're absolutely clean. Come out of the sprue very quickly, very easily, and the assembly is painless. Really impressed. So yeah, go check them out. Blotz.co.uk. Well worth your money, supporting small creators like that. So yeah, so I'll bring you back for the next clip, which will be applying the texture to the outside of the walls, working out how I'm going to do the ceilings, and paint the internals as well. So yeah, these are basically at the stage now which I enjoy the most, which is finishing off. So yeah, I'll bring you along when I get to that, but I can tell you what it won't be now, because I'm so tired after work today. I'm about to go to bed. So this came back from the framers yesterday. This is the artwork from Mindwork Games, with the Witch King attacking Erwin, Pyramid Mad. I'm not entirely sure how she could have been, mistaken for a man. But anyway, yeah, it's not very canon, that. But it's still really cool artwork, and I'll put it on the wall and really enjoy looking at it every time I go down the corridor. And of course I've got the actual diorama to make as well at some point, though at the moment I'm working very slowly through the other diorama, which is taking a lot longer than planned because of tiredness and busyness. But anyway, yeah, so I get that on the wall. Happy to have it framed. I think it looks really nice. I think the black frame really suits it. So yeah, just another little thing that's happened this week. Right, so we're back, and what we're going to do is just explain to Rosie. We're going to mix up some modelling compound. So what I do here, you watch him. What I do here is I take some of this powder.
Yeah.
You see that? And then I get water. Okay, this makes it into a little mush. And then we mix it up like this.
Can I do it?
Let me put a little bit more water in, and then of course you can. Wait a second. There we are, a little bit more water. Right, put your finger in, just one finger, and stir it like this, just with your finger.
But it's hot.
It's not hot. You're gonna stir it?
No.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you want to do it, you can.
I don't.
It's very squidgy and fun. Oh, thank you for helping with the water. Right, so what we do is we get this to the right consistency, so it's thick enough. About like that.
That's maybe actually a little bit too watery, but it'll be okay. And then
Daddy?
we pick it up and we put it on there. Do you want to do that? Do you want to pick some up and put it on there?
No.
Do you not want to? This is the fun bit. Pick it up, put it on there. Okay? Do you want to smooth that out? Just touch it.
No, I don't want to. I will get my hands dirty.
Yes, you will get your hands dirty and then we'll clean them.
But I don't like.
You don't want to get dirty? Okay, well this is how we do modelling compound.
Mummy will show.
Mummy won't shout at you. Mummy won't shout at you. Come on, have a little go.
No.
No, no, no. Oh, I thought this would be the bit that you'd like the best. Anyway, see what I'm doing here? I'm spreading it all out, yeah? And pushing it around.
I like some more in.
We will make some more in a minute, but probably not on camera. Come on, just take a little bit. Go on, I'll keep you safe from Mummy, don't worry. Pick a little bit up with your finger.
I don't want to.
No? Okay. I've no idea where you get this cleanness from. And obviously from your mother. Isn't it, love?
I like to paint.
Yeah, well the next stage will be painting, I think, probably. Near enough. So what we'll do is once we've emptied this pot, we will mix some more up, we'll put some more on until we've covered the entirety of the base with modelling compound, okay?
I like some water in it. And
Yeah.
then put it in.
Absolutely, this is it. We put powder in and then we put the water in. Right, so I'm going to wash my hands because as you said they get dirty, and then we're going to mix up another one. Okay. So as you saw, Rosie did get her hands dirty, which is brilliant. So what we've got now, this is a stone that Rosie picked up off the drive. Let me just show it to the camera. It's nice and sparkly, which is very pretty. So what we're going to do is this one is going to eventually get stuck down in here. But what we need to do is before we stick it down, we need to just press it in. Do you want it to go there? We need to press it in and then take it out again. And what that does, can you see, it makes a little kind of like mark in the compound where we're going to glue it eventually. So we'll take that to one side, and when we're finished we can glue that stone in there and there'll be a space for it in the modelling compound. Okay?
Yeah.
Good girl.
Oh, I've stuck some greenery over what I think is causing the problem. Hopefully that will be enough to solve it and prevent it from leaking. I'm just about to do another pour. I've changed the box. That's the box that didn't get leaked into, so I've changed the box. It is underneath that corner, so if it does leak I will know, and I'm just about to start pouring, and hopefully I won't have any more leaks, but we shall find out. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm just going to mix and pour now. So I might actually move the camera a bit, set it up, and you can watch while you're watching some music. I've set this on the back of one of my Battle Games in Middle Earth folders so you can see it, but I've just done another final first layer test, and I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out now, about minus 1.356 or something like that it was. So I dropped it down a bit. I actually went too far the first time in, I had about minus 4.9 and it went too far, so I pulled it back up, and I think I'm happy with that, and I might even try and get a test print done. So there we are, very, very cool. Seems to be going well. Let's see how happy I am after this test print though. When I started this without my camera with me, so this is on my phone, and this is my first print. I've decided to print the Triceratops skull that came with the flashcard that it arrived with, and yeah, I've no idea how well this is going to work. Hopefully it will work good. It's going nuts. It says it's going to take about 5 hours, so I should wake up tomorrow to that. I'm not sure whether it turns itself off or whether it will just keep extruding, which will be a bit of a pain. I might set my alarm and come down in the night and just check. So I'm not sure about that, or I might do some research. But otherwise, anyway, whatever. Enough nattering. Here we go. Look at it go. It's done some kind of matrix in there, look. Isn't that awesome? Hey. Very exciting. Had a delivery day, which I'm pretty excited about, to be honest. This is the new Everlasting wet palette from Redgrass Games. Now, I've had the original. Angela bought it for me as a present, which was awesome. I've had that for a fair old while now, and I love it. And I'm not going to kick the camera. Sorry, I'm not going to get rid of it. Of course, I'll keep using it. But this one has a bunch of upgrades apparently, and yeah, I've just when the Kickstart was out, I just thought I'd get it. So yeah, apparently it seals better and keeps from the water from evaporating, which is good for me. I mean, at the moment, well, actually this week I've been terrible. The past week, I've been pretty terrible at painting every day. But generally, I'm painting more often. But quite a lot in the past, I've been quite lax. This is actually quite difficult to open. There we go. I've been quite lax in painting, and left it for months sometimes, and to come back and find the other one was pretty good. It held its water well, but this one should hold it even better. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go. I didn't go for the glass one or the upgrades on the. I didn't go for any upgrades. I don't think. I think I did. I think these might be some brushes, but I can't remember. You know when you buy things on Kickstarter, then you forget what you ordered. Oh, they are some brushes, I think. Let me see. Let me see what's inside this goodness here. Well, that wasn't very easy to get into. Hopefully I've not damaged anything. Don't think I have. Oh yes, I've got 3 new brushes. I've got a dry brush, and I've got a 2-0, which is really nice, and I've got a 2. So I must admit, as I said, I'd forgotten I'd ordered those, but that's nice. There's some nice brushes. So yeah, glad that arrived. I know it's going to be good. This is going to be cool. Angel Garaldez is a huge, well, I wouldn't say influence because I'm just wouldn't even believe myself to be in the same planet as him, but he's a huge inspiration. I think he's fantastic. So yeah, for sure, I'm going to have a good fun reading through that, and get that down to the desk and start using it. And I'll report back after a week or two of using it, which won't be for a little while because I've got holidays and other things. But I'll report back on how much it improves. Well, it's actually the 2nd of August, 3rd of August maybe, I'm not entirely sure. 3rd of August, but I finished this last week in July, honest. I just haven't started the next one, so yeah, it's just been sat down there. So this is the one I did for August, July, sorry, very pleased with how it's turned out. I had a lot of fun with quite a simple paint scheme. And I have picked another kind of simple one. Let's move that out of the way and get this one in shot. So, and hopefully that will focus. Yeah, it's just not very well lit. Let's get a little more light on it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do for August. I've got a very, very busy month. Hopefully this will be a nice, easy one to paint. Just skin, a snake, a scepter, and the base. So hopefully it'll be a nice, simple one to paint. But yeah, getting to the end of my pile of Printamancer sculpts to paint. So yeah, getting towards the end of the year as well, which is scary how fast it's gone. I'm very pleased to have kept this up. So yeah, I'll come back at the end of the month and show you what this looks like, and show you the one I'm going to do in September. Yeah, flying through the year. Well, we had a failure, which you can see there. The top of the model didn't print, and yeah, when I looked at that guest, I thought maybe there was some sort of extruder problem. So I've just had a chat with Quinn from Quinn's Budget Crafts, who is my go-to for helping me on anything 3D printed. And yeah, he's also suggested that could be the case, that it could be an extruder problem. So I'm going to have a look at that. We'll see and work out what the problem is, and then I'm going to try again.
until it failed, that's actually turned out nice. It's really smooth. It's got a great finish. Fantastic result. Only the slightest amount of little bits of kind of whatever they call it, little hairy bits, which you can take off just with a lighter. So yeah, pretty happy, apart from obviously the fact that it fell. but it wasn't far off, and like I say, potentially there's something loose inside here. I don't know whether maybe this stopped pulling as well. No, that still feels pretty loose. I'm a little bit aware of how my setup is. If I just quickly move the camera, 1 second. Right, so you can see this is where my spool is, and what I'm worried about is that it gets caught, but it seems to be running okay. So I think maybe I'm being a bit over worried about that. So what I need to do, what Quinn said to do, is basically see if there's a little gouge in the filament near where the wheel is. So I'm presuming what I'm going to need to do is unload the filament and have a look at it. So yeah, let's do that. So we'll turn it on and let's see if I can do this right. It's all a bit new to me, this, obviously. Let me just do that. There we are. Right, so that's turned on. So now we go through the auto load filament, unload filament, PLA, preheating to unload, it says. So there we are. And let's see if anything dribbles out the bottom, because if it doesn't, then it pretty much tells me that, yeah, we had a extrusion issue. So there we are. You live and you learn. And this is the truth. So it's preheating the nozzle now. If I bring this down, that's what that says, preheating. Wrong angle. Let me move the camera. There we are, preheating to unload. Hopefully this is useful. I'm very nervous around these sorts of things. I'm myself a developer, which would make you think I actually would be very confident, but yeah, I'm really not. At the moment, there is no sign of anything dribbling out the bottom, which is a bad sign. Press the knob to unload the filament. That was loud, wasn't it? It didn't come out. So that didn't work. So there is possibly... Nope, that's not coming out. Right, I'm going to need to look into this. I'll report back.
Dirty.
It is dirty, it's glue, it's been used a lot. Right, so what we're going to do now, Rosie, is we're going to put some sand, some gravel and sand onto the base. So what I need you to do is dip your brush in there and put some glue somewhere on this base. Just go blub, 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 blub. Then do a little bit more maybe. Just be a little bit quicker as you come over so you don't drip it. Very good. So what we'll do now, take that, and you see in here, let me just pull this round here so you can see properly. You see in here we've got some stones. Let me show you and then you can do the next one. So pick up a small amount of stones and just kind of scatter them on top of the glue that you just poured. So you get some more stones, just a couple, and put them on top of the glue that you just poured. Very good, there we are, and I'll do a little bit more. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do that over and over, all over the base. Okay, so get the brush again and get some more and put some over here now maybe. Very good, and a little bit more, maybe a bit more around the corner. So like here, that's it. Go, 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 quick, quick. Don't worry if it drips, it doesn't matter too much. Go! Very good. Right, we'll take that over here, get some more stones and drop them on top of that glue now. Opa. It's okay, don't worry about it, we'll pick them up. So make sure that they drop onto the glue. You see where the glue is? That's it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to pick these stones that have fallen off and put them in. Okay? Cool.
Glue.
Glue, yes. So this is watered down glue. It's very runny glue. I made it myself.
Here's my
There we are. Right, so yeah, hold that now. Let's keep turning it round and we'll keep working around. We'll turn the camera off now and we'll turn it back on again when we get to the next step. So Rosie did all of the big stones, but now I've had to carry on without her because she's declared, I've had enough of helping you, Daddy. She will be back. But because I need to do this all at the same time, I'm cracking on a little bit more. And what I'm doing is I'm putting on smaller and smaller stones. So I'm painting on more PVA, also using it to kind of seal some of the looser stones that we have from the first application. And then I'm going to put, not going down to sand I don't think, but going down to, so this is the next size. You can see they are smaller, and then I'll also do the size smaller than this as well probably, and just totally put lots and lots of texture all over this base. So I've asked Rosie to help me, but like I say, she doesn't want to, and I want to do all this at the same time, so unfortunately I'm having to work without her, which is a shame, but she's done quite a lot of it already. This is only a very small part of the process. Next bit, painting it all black, I'm sure she'll have every involvement. So yeah, there we are, a bit more glue, and then I'll come along with the smallest grade that I'm going to do, and then we'll leave it all to dry. So grab the smaller grade. I think this one's got a spoon in it rather than a, yes, rather than a pate, what's it? And this, we're just going to scatter all over the top of everything. And this is why I wanted to do it all at once. So I wasn't putting glue over the top of the bigger stones. That would then mean that this was sitting on top of the bigger stones, it would actually fall down in between. So there we are. Right, next time we do this project, Rosie will definitely be here. It's a shame that she's not for this, but she's helping Mummy, so she's not gone off to the, yeah, whatever. Anyway, enough mattering, enough chattering. I'm loving having Rosie involved in my build. I hope you're enjoying seeing her. I'll get this done and bring you back for the next step when we get to it. Right, so Rosie's got her step, and what we're now going to do is going to paint all of this black. And you're very excited, aren't you, love? So put your brush in and then start painting up here. And we'll move that so I can get access, and you just paint until you're bored and then stop. And if you can paint the top, I'll paint the bottom. Just cover it all with black. Don't dab, brush, that's it, good girl. Do you want me to move it closer to you?
Yeah.
Okay. There you are. I'll move that out of the way. And I'm going to paint down here because this is the hard bit. The difficulty we've got here is that not all of the gravel I put on is actually stuck, so it's moving around a little bit, so I wouldn't want to ask you to do that. So yeah, what we're going to do in a minute, turn the camera off because, yeah, well, we're just going to paint it. We're going to put at least one coat of black on. We might come back tomorrow or later tonight and do another one. But the whole thing needs to be painted black. Thank you for your help, Rosie. You enjoying this project?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me move that a little bit closer to you again. There you go, love. Let's put that there. Oh. Right, we'll turn the camera off, and when we're done, look at this Meister at work. Fantastic, Rosie, good girl. Right, so here we are with these, and I'm now about to start the texturing. Just thought I'd show you the packet that I use for my grout. This is the colour I use when I'm doing these kind of buildings that are textured with the kind of sandy colour. So what I'm going to do is come along and just paint that over the outside of all of these, and it might take a couple of coats to get a good colouring, but it doesn't take too long to apply. You do need to be aware of the fact that this will dry in lumps, so if you accidentally push something inside a gap like inside this window, then you need to knock it down, otherwise it'll dry very, very solid. So yeah, this is going to take a bit of time. What I'll do is I'll do the most of it with the big brush, and then I'll come in and do around the wooden details with a slightly smaller brush probably, so that I don't paint over my wood colour that I've painted on. And like I say, I'll probably take 2 coats, I think, probably to get the effect I'm looking for. And the other thing I wanted to say is, unusually for this one, I am actually going to go and paint the inside as well with the texture. That's what I've decided to do on these. I want to see what it looks like. The only thing that could have done differently potentially for this entire thing was to prime or whatever the whole building. So paint it, spray it black, and then come along. But because I'm painting this with the light colour, I decided against doing that. But if you wanted to, you could. It would make it a bit easier to hide the gaps and hide the dark wood, light wood. So yeah, even with the light colour, it might have been a good idea, but I decided against it. We'll see how well it works. So anyway, so I'm going to crack on with this, just getting this painted up, and when I've done 2 coats, or if it's three, I'll let you know, and we'll go to the next step. But this is actually not far off finished. There's not much more to do on these. Once you get to this stage and you're putting your texture on, you're very close. The thing that I need to do after this is going to be the roofs and detail the interior if I'm going to. But anyway, there we are. Let's just paint some grout.
Well, I've run out. I've used all of the resin that I've bought, and I mean, it is looking great. I'm very, very pleased. You can see here roughly how much more I wanted to pour. I did want to get quite close to the edge there on both sides, so I've got about 1 centimetre depth more to do. So I'm going to have to buy some more resin. But hey, I'll do it at some point. I'm not sure when. It probably won't be now. I might have to wait. This might delay the project quite a lot again. But yeah, just finished just now pouring this, and I've totally out of resin. So yeah, looking great there. Very, very pleased to have managed to get it this far. And I do think that with another 15 kilograms or so, I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know how I'm going to pick this up. People keep asking me how much it weighs, and no, I can't even separate it one-handed from what it's sitting on. Let's see. Oh, I just about can if I get closer and get a better angle. So I can lift it, which means probably this will be alright with 2 people to carry, maybe 4 people. It will eventually go up into the roof. But yeah, very heavy. That's the answer to people asking me how much it weighs. A lot.
Are you going to help?
I am going to help, but I'm just going to say that what we're doing, you couldn't wait. We're going to be painting orange grout. Just pick up a little bit at a time. Don't pick up too much or it'll drip. That's it, good girl. We're painting orange grout. Let me pull that a bit closer to you. How about that? All over the top arch, because Rosie wanted it to be orange. Didn't you, love? Yeah. So what we're going to do, this is mixed up in my usual way. A bit of PVA, bit of grout, bit of dust, splash of water, and we're going to paint this all over. Paint it on here. Don't paint the sides of the don't paint the sides of the thing. Paint it on here. We're going to paint it all over this upper rock structure. So, yeah, let's get it done. Oh, that was incredible. I can't tell you the joy I get from hobbying with Rosie. Absolutely wonderful. See, a bit of a mess, but whatever, doesn't matter. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to paint over with the bits that got orange with black again, and I'm going to put the second coat of the of this on just because yeah, I want to get on with this. Me and Rosie, as you saw, we did it all together, and yeah, she's doing such a good job. 3 years old and painting so carefully and doing. I'm just blown away, really. Honestly, very proud daddy right now. So yeah, so I'm going to paint over the black bits, but first of all, I'll put a second coat of the grout mixture on, and then when that's dried, then I'll paint over the black bits, and then we're going to dry brush the stones and also do a little bit of dry brushing on this, and then we'll be done. So pretty cool. I'm really excited about how this is looking, and like I say, just loving doing my hobbying with Rosie. Right, so I've decided what I'm going to do is I am going to stick the door on this now before I paint, because then I can basically put the colours I want around the door. It's all going to be done the same. So the way that you do this is you slot the door little kind of like bits, top and bottom, into this. So bottom into the base and top into this kind of little length there. And then one of these goes on the inside, one of these goes on the outside. So we'll just put a bit of glue there. A bit too much glue. That'll probably be enough glue actually for both. So that can go like that. Take some of that off, put it on the other one. And then what I'll do is I'll put this in place and then clamp it, leave it to dry. And then I'll start applying my texture to this one. So let's shut the doors for now. And it literally slides like that. And actually I need to put a little bit of glue on the top of this. Just put a touch of glue on the top of that as well, so that it sticks in place. But don't put it anywhere near where the doors actually are supposed to rotate. I'm doing this very clumsily, mainly because I'm on camera. So anyway, that's what we're going to do, just like that, and then that slots in from behind, and the whole lot needs to be pinched together. So I've got myself some clamps just to hold that in place. And there we are. And now they will rotate nicely. So yeah, I'll let that dry and then we'll come along and do the rest of the texture. But I will quickly show you what the other ones are looking for like, and they're looking great. I really like this grout effect for houses. You can see I've still got the second coat to do above, so I've done most of it, 2.5 coats with the large brush. Just started to fill in the top bits with a smaller brush. Some of it's looking okay, some of it's looking a bit thin. But doesn't that look great? I mean, it hasn't taken me very much time at all. Really cheap, simple materials, and the results are fantastic. I really like it. So I'll be doing the same thing for this one. They may be in a different colour, I'm not sure. So yeah, we're nearly done with these. I will then finish up with the detailing of the vines and potentially put some other bits and pieces. I'm not sure what to do with the courtyard or the inside floors as well, so that's in my mind. But for now, I'm just going to leave that to dry, and then I'll do the same idea with this. So my grout mix, which you can find a link to in the description of every single one of my videos. I highly recommend it. It's a really cool technique. Well, that was a very enjoyable evening. Been sat watching Coffee House Crime. If you don't watch his videos, go watch them, they're awesome. And assembling the plane my dad's plane. So I've made really good progress, as you can see. Got quite a bit of filling to do, but I've managed to get the wings done, the tailplane on, make the engines, got 2 parts of the engines which will slot on the front there, and put another couple of bits and pieces on. Wasn't the easiest thing in the world. This kit isn't the most accurate in the world. As I said, there's going to be some filling going on. That'll probably be the next thing I do, to be honest. But I don't care, I'm loving it. And I'm really pleased to be making progress. And what else can I say? Just a nice way to spend a Friday night. Just chilling, making planes, thinking about my dad and watching superb YouTube content. So yeah, I'll be back with another update on this when I've done a little bit more. But for now, I'm just pleased that, yeah, it's cracking on. Right, so now we come to the dry brushing, which you're going to have to listen to instruction, Rosie. You have to follow and watch what Daddy does, okay? Because this isn't the same as just slapping paint on. This isn't the same.
Yeah, well, I touched up the black last night while you were asleep, yes, just to make it to this stage. Right, so watch what Daddy does. What we're going to do is we're going to put a very little bit of paint like that on our brush, and then take a lot of it off on here, and then you come along and you brush it over, and can you see there's a very, look, there's a very little bit of paint that goes on. So you dab it in. Okay, you get a little bit on there. You take most of it off on the paper towel. Most of it off on the paper towel, that's it. And now just come along and maybe do the sides, you'll find it easier. Like that. You see? Can you see? Can you see it going a bit yellow? Yeah? So get a little bit more. Take most of it off on the paper towel. And then dry brush it on. Do the sides, it's easier. It's easier if you do the sides. That's it, good girl, there we are. So yeah, we're going to dry brush all over the orange. Make sure to remember to take most of it off on the paper towel. Quite a lot off, loads of it off. That's it, good girl. Do the sides. There we are. And this will really bring out the texture and make it look awesome. As I say, the key is not having very much paint on your brush. So take it off. Take it off on here. That's it, good girl. Very cool.
Why are we not doing here?
We'll do there next. You do different colours at different times. Good girl.
Do I like to do it in
No, because it's dry brush, love. You see, we don't need very much paint. Right, so we'll crack on with this. When we come to the next colour, we'll turn the camera on. Right, so we actually ended up doing orange as well on that, but I didn't turn the camera on because I forgot. But what we're going to do now is we're going to do grey on the bottom. So watch what I do, and then you can help. So again, you get some on your brush, same technique. Take most of it off, and then just brush it over. And can you see how that changes the colour?
Yeah.
So you take most of it off. So get it in there, just a little dab. That's it. Now take most of it off on here. Take lots of it off like that, that's it.
Really hard.
It is, just dib, dib, dib. Take it off, there we are. Right now, come in and just brush over. Can you see? Look what you're doing.
Help me.
Well, I'm going to help you because you haven't done it before. Right, take it off. This is the only thing that you forget, isn't it? You forget to take the paint off. It doesn't work as a dry brush if you've got lots of paint on your brush. So dab it in, take most of it off, and then come along and dry brush it.
Why are we not doing the top?
Because we're doing the grey on the stones. We've done the top. We might do some more colours on the top, but probably not. Right, so get a little bit of paint, put it on there, and then dry brush it. You do round here. Do round there. Good girl. So what we do is, once we've done the dark grey, which is what we're doing now, we'll come along and we'll do a lighter grey later, but this needs to dry. So we're just going to do the dark grey now. So get a little bit of paint, take most of it off. Let's turn that over now. There we are, most of it off. Most of it off from the top, that's it. Still had quite a lot on there. And hold it vertical, like this. You see, like that. Well, you were doing it wrong. I want to show you how to do it. There we are. Right, I'm going to turn it around now. You are a funny one. Right, wipe most of it off. And then brush. You are a funny one, you. Don't help you. You need to take a little bit better at taking instruction, my love. But you are doing very well. You're only 3. I need to remember that. I forget that you're only 3. Oh, steady. You're welcome. Right, so very shortly we'll have finished. Do this bit here. Take most of it off on the paper. That's it. More of that off. More off on the paper. There we are. And now do this bit. Over here. Don't do it on the orange. Don't do it on the orange.
I'd like to do it.
No, not yet. We'll do the orange again a bit later. Right, we're done. Look, can you see what we've done? That was fun to watch, I'm sure. You're very, very good at doing that, but you do need to listen a little bit better to instruction, little Bobbit. You can touch it if you want, yes. Good girl. There we are. Right, so we'll let that dry, and we'll come back with the lighter grey later, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that I'm not gonna be able to finish the idea I had for the TCU challenge. It's now nearly a week into August, and I've got to finish it by the end of August, and I've really not got as far as I wanted to, and I don't want to feel pressure to work on that because, well, it's a very awesome piece, and I'd rather just spend a little bit more time and not feel quite so panicky about finishing it for an arbitrary time. So instead I'm going to pull out, and I'll try to remember to put this on screen, some awesome art from one of Rosie's books that I've just loved ever since I first read it. Made me laugh out loud. The next panel says, "You are dinner," Beast said. And then, "No, I'm not," said Dinner. And I remember reading that and actually just literally laughing out loud. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do this as a very small, you can see this is just A4 sheet of MDF, and I'm going to try to do this as something which can go on Rosie's wall that she can like. She loves the book, and I think it'll be really, really striking. So there's some trees up here, and there's like a hill going down across, and Beast is here, and Dinner is there. So the first thing I'm going to do, however, long-term viewers will know that I struggle with the old warp situation. And on a previous video, someone said, why don't you paint both sides with PVA before you do anything and see if that helps the warp. So I'm going to do that. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Going to paint one side of this with PVA. Now, I have tried similar to this before, and I've still never been able to prevent the warp. But maybe this time I will. Maybe I'll actually get it to not warp, which will be really nice. And if not, then I'll have tried. And that's one of the joys of this hobby, is just how much you can kind of learn as you go and try new things and test out new suggestions from awesome people. So thank you very much. Can't remember exactly who it was who left the suggestion now. It was a little while back. So yeah, I'll just put that on, see if that, when that's dried, turn it over, paint the other side, and then I'll start to mock out the shape. I'm going to do the hill actually in relief, so it's going to be in relief, but it's not going to be very deep, maybe an inch or so. I think it'll be a really nice thing to hang on her wall. So yeah, let that dry, and then I'll paint the other side, let that dry, and then we'll see whether we actually have reduced the warp. I've finished painting this up, pretty pleased with how it looks. And what I'm now going to do is start working on finishing off the base. So I've not glued anything together yet, because what I want to do is I want to use the snow effects. I've got a load of Woodland Scenic snow effects. I want to use that to build up the base, because my idea is the colours I've done. This is a snow dragon. You can see that the slayer is kind of warm red and yellows. So she has walked into the icy snow and slain the dragon. So yeah, so I'm going to be making up some snow, and I'm trying to work out whether I'm going to glue that in first or not, and or whether I put snow underneath and then press it in, and that's kind of where I'm thinking at the moment. And it's a bit late now for me to start, so I'll probably do it tomorrow, but that'll also give me the opportunity to sleep on it. But that's the plan, a really snowy base, and then it'll be done. It won't take me very long to do, actually, to be honest. Much less time than I thought that I was going to spend on the base. I'm really happy with how it's turned out, and yeah, I think it looks great. So I'll bring you back when I come to do the snow. Well, there you are. They say never work with children or animals, but I must admit I'm getting so much joy out of hobbying with Rosie, and she is loving it so much. Whenever I suggest, should we go and do some hobby, Rosie, she jumps around, yeah, and runs up here. So yeah, really, really great, really, really cool to have got her finally to agree, because she did say no for quite a long time. Just, no, I don't want to today, can we do something else? Which is fair enough. I'm going to force her to do it. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing that fun, and also maybe some of the other builds, maybe learned a bit or saw something you thought, why is he doing that? This is a much better idea. And if you did, then please let me know, whatever you thought. I'd love to hear from you. Really, really do appreciate all of your comments. Now, just to say, next week will be a bit of an odd one. I'm actually going on family holiday, so I will get a video up next Sunday, so don't worry, there's not going to be a missed week. 144 weeks without a break is a record worth working for. So there will be a video, but it may be a bit of a shorter one, or maybe a bit of an odd one, because yeah, it's going to be a bit of a strange week. And I will be back as well the week after, so there shouldn't be any any interruption to service. So thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Massive thanks to you if that is the case. And I'll wrap up by saying, as I always do, if any of you are directly or indirectly impacted by the horrible war in Ukraine, then my thoughts go out to you and anyone that you may know who is. And to everyone, please do stay healthy, stay safe and stay well.